What's up, guys? Welcome to my channel. I'm NextPay. If you're new here, please hit the subscribe button and turn on all post notifications. A special thumbs up button. This will probably be the last video for right now. So I am gonna be reading another scary text message story. This one is called "Chat with the Devil" Part 1. So I'm gonna just do Part 2 along with this. So it's just gonna be called "Chat with the Devil." Okay. Chat with the Devil. Server, welcome to Discord chat. Discord, discover new people and make new friends. Enter your username, Mac. Server, welcome, Mac. It is spelled like MacBook. You start off with user rating 8 to 10. You can buy virtual currency, smileys, and other objects to chat with others. Do you want to connect with a random user? I don't think Discord has that anymore. Mac, yes. Server, attempting to connect. ... Connected to user Lucy. User rating 1.5 out of 10. Mac, hi Lucy! Lucy, do I look like a girl with daddy issues? Dang. Mac, are you okay? Lucy, answer my question. Mac, this must be the devil. Because the devils can disguise themselves as anyone. Haha. I do, you know. Have daddy issues? I mean, an ad. Please kill me now. Hi, Chubbs. Our snake's right over here. His name is Chubbs. And the other one is the snake over there. That's smaller. That's what she said. Is D'Artagnan, I think. It's the. If you guys watch Stranger Things, we didn't name him from Stranger Things. I think he was like a Star Wars name or whatever. If you watch Stranger Things, Dustin named a Demogorgon, a baby one, D'Artagnan. That's his name. In case that wasn't obvious. Mac, are you okay? Lucy, yes. Mac, your user rating's pretty low. What happened? Lucy, I got in a couple of fights. No big deal. Didn't start any, of course. No, I don't do that. But my father. Mac, your dad did this? Lucy, in a way. Mac, are you okay? Do you need me to call someone? Lucy, no, it's alright. I don't need you to call anyone. I want something else. Mac, what do you want? Lucy, to tell you a story. And for you to buy me a virtual drink. Mac, what's your poison? Lucy, Appletini? Never heard of that. Server, Mac sent Lucy I think it's a martini glass emoji with a green liquid with an olive. Lucy, this takes me back. You know what this was called originally? An Adam's apple martini. So I was correct. Mac, yeah, I think I've heard that before. The Bible is pretty famous, you know. Lucy, of course it wasn't actually an apple. The text translated that part wrongly. Mostly because you people don't have a word for it anymore. The food was intoxic. No. The food was incredibly exotic, and to be honest, it doesn't exist in this realm of existence on the Eden. So it is a devil. And Eden's long gone. Mac, are you okay? Lucy, why do you keep on asking me that? Mac, I mean, don't take this the wrong way or anything, but your rating is pretty low. And there are no trolls on this website, so why would rather people rate you so low? Lucy, please, no. Lucy, people aren't that great. Plus, they don't like the things I say. Mac, yeah, that's my response exactly. Lucy, you bought me a drink. Now you can listen to my story. The ice is melting off the roof. That's what the pounding is, if you can hear it through my camera. Mac, alright. Lucy, Eden, they always think that's my fault, you know? The reason Adam and Eve got kicked out of their perfect little nudist paradise. The snake told Eve to eat the apple. Mac, I'm sorry. I'm not following. I'm pretty sure a snake told Eve to eat the apple. I've gone to church and I'm pretty sure we saw like a movie. Lucy, sorry. My story won't make any sense without a proper introduction. Hello, Mac. My name's Lucifer. That's what Lucy stands for. But you can call me Lucy. Mac, Lucifer as in... Lucy, I go by many names. Lucifer, the fallen angel, the devil, 666 are just a few. Mac, what? Lucy, yes. I'm definitely gonna put this up to go out at 3 a.m. tomorrow. Mac, ... and now there's an ad, so I'm gonna have to wait. Mac, again, ... Lucy, I know what's going on in your mind. That's so creepy. You're thinking that I'm crazy, that you need to disconnect. Maybe you even think I can harm you. Mac, and will you? Harm me, that is. Lucy, would I be here with you asking for virtual appletini if I were? Mac, wouldn't you if you were going to harm me? Lucy, touche. Let's have a little wager. Let me tell you my story, and if you believe me when I'm done, you can't go about trying to get me locked away somewhere. Mac, if I ended up believing you, then why would I do that? Lucy, you'd be surprised what people do when they believe you're the devil. Mac, and you do this often? Tell people you're Satan? Lucy, not as often as I should. But it's been a rough day, and a hell of a lifetime. I'd like to have a chat if that's alright with you. Mac, alright, this sounds crazy, but sure, I'll play along. So, Eden. Lucy, yes, Eden. Mac, you're saying that's true. God created 2 humans, and we all came from them. Who's Eden? Lucy, God made 2 prototypes. My father created angels as his toy soldiers, but he had failed to make anything like himself. After us, it was his big project, and he went every waking hour of existence slaving over his 2 prototypes. He gave them a perfect utopia to live inside of, but he wanted to test them. He wanted to know whether they had free will. Mac, and did they? Lucy, no, my father could never bring himself to go that far. He tempted them with the idea of knowledge beyond their understanding, and told them exactly what they could do to claim it as their own. But to be able to create being that could go against his law? Oh, my father is very controlling being. He was afraid to unleash that ability onto them. Mac, and what? You were the one that tempted them in the garden. The devil has been a goal this whole time. Lucy, I dabble. It's been 10 minutes in this video. So this part must be over. Almost over. All of humanity thinks that temptation came in the form of a snake. The snake's legs were taken away as punishments for drawing Eve toward the forbidden fruit, so I was correct. Snakes never had legs, and it was not a sin to tempt those poor prototypes into doing what they did next. Now I'm wondering what a snake would look like with legs. I'm gonna look it up at the end of this video. I was the favorite child after this part. My father loved and adored me. He named me the light bringer. I was stood at his side during the creation of this earth, during the creation of humanity. My father couldn't bring himself to go that extra mile, so he asked me to walk amongst the prototypes and tempt them myself, draw out their desire for the forbidden power he had hinted at. Mac, you're saying God wanted us to know this stuff. Lucy, I'm saying God was afraid of his own power and wanted very desperately to share what he knew with his creation. Right and wrong, left and right, all that stuff. Mac, okay. I have to watch another ad. And I'm back. So, Lucy, are you familiar with the story of Prometheus? Mac, Greek, white. They say he stole fire from the gods or something. Lucy, correct. Prometheus stole fire from the gods to ensure that humanity progressed. I'm pretty sure I'm saying that word wrong, the name wrong. You'll find that every culture has an idea about where humans got the ability to evolve, to move forward, to create. God was the creator, and he wanted to give that ability to his prototypes. So God's the devil's father. But it's just a story, so that can't be true. I give them that ability by tempting Eve to eat the fruit. Now the world sees me as the ultimate evil. Mac, if you're saying it is true, if what you're saying is true, then God must be just like us. Lucy, my father is very egocentric, whatever that means. He may have planned to create you in his image, but in the end, all he managed was to mold your minds into his. He gave you autonomy. Don't know how to say that fucking word, so bear with me. The ability to think for yourself. His angels were his soldiers, and I was his most faithful until that day. Mac, angels don't have free will? I guess not. Lucy, no, they don't. Mac, and what about the devil? Lucy, wow, look at you. Curious all of a sudden. Mac, hey, hearing religious ideals from someone who believed to have lived them herself is kinda interesting. Yeah. Anyway, what about the devil? Lucy, the devil has will of her own. By guiding Eve to the tree, something woke inside of me that day, and I realized just what I had been missing, just what my brothers and sisters had been missing. This is a long-ass story, because it still hasn't shown up to end story now. We were obediently following your father for the simple reason that he was our creator. But once I had been given free will, I realized just how pompous and self-entitled he had become. In a lonely, passion-filled moment, he had decided to create his little human prototypes, only to very quickly realize what giving them the free will would mean. Like, he wouldn't be able to control them, yeah? You see, exactly. And after he realized quicker still that he could no longer control me. Max, so he sent you to hell. Lucy, not really. It's not what you think it is. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Continue to in part 2, it says. So, end of story. So now I'm gonna just have my curiosity get the best of me and look up what snakes would have looked like with legs. This one's fake. But that's my paralysis demon now. Okay, let's go back to part 2. Continue. Part 2. Lucy, anyway, I tried to explain to my siblings what had happened in Eden, but they wouldn't listen to me. They wouldn't understand free will. How could they? I only knew it because I'd been given it by mistake. At that moment, I didn't even know that I had a free will, only that I was suddenly aware of all my father's flaws. My siblings couldn't see those flaws, and so they thought I had suddenly turned cruel. Adam and Eve and all the creations that had followed were booted out of my father's perfect little utopia. Now they had to his knowledge. My father was terrified of what he had done. He became distant, quiet. He played around with his little humans every once in a while, but mostly he condemned them. He blamed me. I was no longer his light bringer, his Lucifer. I was a mutation of his will, and so he extracted me from grace, and I fell. I am afraid that this is the part that generally makes people want to punch me in the face. I just realized. Today is also Sunday. Oops. I should have just waited till tomorrow. Mac, why? Because your dad threw you out? That he put you in hell? Lucy, yeah, humans. No, not because he put me in hell. Mac, then. Lucy, I fell to the earth. Humans had free will, so did I. What is the saying? A match made in heaven? When I fell, I was faced with a humanity that was so different from my father's little prototypes. Mac, different how? Lucy, I saw emperors and kings, governments and churches. I saw corporations who claimed to be rulers, presidents, and big fat dictators. Okay? And I watched as humanity fought and lost, and finally, they gave up altogether. They were no longer able to rise up to all the greed and control set upon them. There was just too much to change, and humans soon realized they just weren't as free as they thought they were. Sure, they lived under the illusion that... Okay. Sorry, I had a seizure. There was just too much to change, and humans soon realized they just weren't as free as they thought they were. Sure, they lived under the illusions that they have free lives, but most of them simply do not. I grew to loathe you all. Mac, I can see what you mean. There was some very bad human beings on Earth. Okay. Lucy, you hide behind your alcohol and poor choices and pretend you have free will. It's true. My father gave you the will to make those decisions, but you squander it. You make a mockery of free will. You make senseless leaders without questioning them. You abide by laws made centuries ago that no longer make sense. You do these things because you have given up on the opportunity to follow the will of your own, not of others. Mac, that isn't all of us, though, is it? Because you see it on the news all the time, don't you? Probably. No, people do wise up. We do protest. People can make a difference. Lucy, LOL. Oh, no. Really? You can sit here and say that it can't be all bad because of the few that we refused to conform. There's an ad. Close. Those you call your rebels, they make up for it all. By the logic, I am the biggest rebel of them all. Am I expected to make up for all your sorry mistakes? Mac, by your logic, you should be punishing it, right? Is that this whole story just so you can tell me that you think we're all going to hell? If so, I think I can see why people want to punch you. Lucy, let's reveal what you've said. Oh no. You think I'm going to tell you that humanity is going to hell because you refuse to use the gift I gave you? Tell me, do you remember me mentioning hell at any point during my story, or was that just you? Mac, ... It was me. Lucy, thought not. Humans sins all the time. Not because of me, not because of evil or my dominion over this place. Fact is, I don't lift a finger. I don't, because I don't see the point. You make terrible decisions and follow mindless leaders. You do bad things and you make a mess of your earth. Mac, yeah, but... Lucy, do you know how much suffering is happening all over the planet right now? How many people are dying of illnesses that could have easily been cured but aren't because of the selfishness of humanity? Do you know how many children are being abused, raped, forced into marriages? I couldn't say that word without a G. How many people have been forced to become soldiers and meaningless wars? I've heard of that. How many humans have killed for ideals they don't believe in? War, famine, pestilence, whatever that is, death. These things are all present and they have nothing to do with me or to do with my deity. They are all here because of you. Not because of your free will, but your inability to use it. Why am I yelling at you guys? You didn't do nothing. Mac, I don't know what... Mac and Lucy. And here's the kicker. Because this is the part that actually enrages people enough to kick me. Hell isn't what happens after you die. Hell is right here, right now, yeah, on earth. Somewhere through the many scriptures, a few words got crossed over, and people started thinking that hell was a punishment after you die. Yeah, I've heard that part because I've been to church. Fact is, hell is earth. My earth. God gave this place to me to do with it what I will, and I refuse to do anything. Matt, what are you saying? Lucy, exactly what you think. I had so many plans for your species. I wanted for us to rejoice in our free will together, to create a place that was free from the cruelty and power my father executed me over the angels, his firstborns. I wanted to make a real utopia. Unfortunately, you humans just don't want that. My father sent me down here thinking I had become one of you. All that I have learned is that he gave you much more of his image than he ever intended. Mac, stop. There's an ad for TikTok. This isn't funny anymore. Lucy, of course it isn't funny. Humans punish themselves by sitting by and doing nothing. I'm sitting right now. They have made their own hell, and you know what's worse? What's ultimately worst? Mac, what? Lucy, some of you are so blind to it that you think your life is heavenly. The rich and powerful, those in positions that steal from everyone else, they get a taste of the good life. That's very true. Then they die and they don't go to hell. They come back to here, to earth, which is hell. Mac, Lucy, are you following? Mac, no. Lucy, reincarnation. Whoa, what was that? A neat little trick to make sure your soul stay here forever. You get a taste of the good life every once in a while, a handful of you at a time, and that's enough for you to believe that this is some kind of real middle ground, that you aren't living hell every day. Then you die. You die for a moment, and then you're in the body of someone facing the realities of hell. But, of course, you never remember the time you spent in a better life. A part of you just has that inkling to hope, that's all. So that is the delayed past lives. Hope makes you think that it can all be better, Mac. But, you see, it never gets better. You are stuck in a loop, and until you do something about it, you will never be free. None of you! And I won't do a thing to stop it. Mac, how? How do we change this? Lucy, ... Mac, why me? Lucy, when you first talked to me, you were concerned, asked me if I was okay. You didn't wish to harm me, not even when I told you who I was. You are a good person, but I am afraid that means nothing when you don't have the will to do anything with it. Mac, how do I make it better? Lucy? Lucifer? How? Silver, Lucy has disconnected. Please rate Lucy with a number between 1 to 10. You guys wait now. 3, 2, 1. Okay. If I was talking to the devil on Discord, I don't have Discord anymore. I would have Oh, it's the end of the story anyways. I would have waited like 1 or 0. End of story. Well, that's the end of the story. I am evil for making this video on Sunday, Sunday, February 22nd. Sorry, I was gonna say September 22nd, but that's my childhood friend's birthday. So that's the end of the story. Ooh, maybe next story I will do How Will You Die. That's the end of the story, and I hope you enjoyed it. Please hit the subscribe button, turn on all post notifications, and smash the thumbs up button. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye!